So I actually took like the last 2 weeks off of playing GBL. That's why I haven't posted any videos, but I'm happy to come back and bring some spice with Roserade here in the Master League Premier Classic. And I'm going to show you a few sets that I thought showcase how well Roserade can work here. So without further ado, let's jump into my first set running this team. Alrighty, so in this very first battle, we actually do get a Swampert lead, and the funny thing about this, I'm actually running Poison Jab, Dazzling Gleam, and Weather Ball Fire on Roserade. I didn't really feel like we needed the grass coverage with this line, and the Dazzling Gleam is just so good for catching the dragons off guard. So our opponent actually switched to Dragonite. We bring in Togekiss and we farm it down, and then of course we're going to get a Metagross that meets our Togekiss for the farm down. And since this is the first set of me trying to test this line out, I was trying to make it like a ABB line in the sense of there's like a fighter lead, then we switch out the Roserade. I liked Roserade a lot as a safe spot bet, just to like get into it a little bit. You'll see more throughout these battles, but yeah, things get refined more, and even this set is a little spicy. But yeah, we got our Shadow Snorlax, which as you can tell is not great IVs. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know I have it up here on the screen, but this is actually the Shadow Snorlax that I built in Season 3 when I got number 10 on the leaderboard for Go Battle League. But yeah, I haven't used this in a long time, so it was actually it was just amazing bringing out some of these OG homies and letting Grumpy do his thing. That's the name of him, by the way. Grumpy, oh, what a great guy. Anyways, we can take the first win here of the set. And yeah, taking that Meteor Mash on Roserade, the thing I realized as I was playing Roserade, this is extremely classy and not even necessarily the hardest hitter. But we end up in this next match, we get a Shadow Mamoswine lead, and I'm going to take the first Avalanche. I'm going to throw it with Superpower. My opponent made a great switch into Goodra here, but I'm actually just going to switch into my Togekiss and go straight for a farm down. And the thing about this matchup, they don't really have anything I need to shield. They throw a Power Whip. Okay. But in comes the Mamoswine, and I do have energy for the Ancient Power, which I absolutely throw that. We do get a shield, and we're still chunking a lot of health away with our charms. I actually decide, hey, I think I can outfarm it, so I decide to shield, and they bring in Darmanitan, which might look a little scary here. I throw the Ancient Power, but I'm bringing in Roserade against a Darmanitan. And the thing about a lot of these battles you're going to see, especially this first set, the Poison Jab coverage is actually really nice, especially in like this type of scenario. I mean, Darmanitan's also kind of frail. It's like a glass cannon. So my Roserade actually just beats the Darmanitan in one shield. Well, I mean, I guess I had the one shield. Of course, I'm up a shield. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, we end up finishing off the Mamoswine with that Fire Weather Ball. But in our next match, we get an Excadrill, which is a very common lead. A lot of times, I'm not sure if I play this how I ended up playing this. I take the first move, that's kind of what I was thinking, then just go straight Superpower, depending if they shield or not. Okay, so they don't shield here, so I'm just going to stay in, because I want to keep alignment. I'm just going to throw a Body Slam, got some chip damage, and Garchomp can't really do anything to Togekiss, so we can just pretty much bring in Togekiss. We want to keep alignment. 2 shields are up, but as of right now, this is still looking pretty solid for us. We're gonna let this move go through, like I said, really no point. They get a defense drop with Earth Power. Good call, just throw that. Then they have Florges in the back, and that's just gonna be a GG because we have Poison Jab on Roserade, and you can see how much damage that's racking up just right there. So GG, trainer. Alright, the next battle. We end up getting a Gyarados lead, and for the most part, I just don't switch out Snorlax unless it's a fighter. I feel like that's how I was playing. And we stay in on the Gyarados, even if it's like a soft loss or a soft win, it's just better to kind of not lose alignment. And I feel like Snorlax is just like a good generalist for this format. So we're just staying in here. We're going to try to shield one of the Aqua Tails, and maybe we'll also get a shield in return here, or they might just let it go. So they end up letting it go, and I'm actually going to insta-swap into my Roserade here on the Excadrill. I'm going to throw Weather Ball, and it's a tough call. Drill Run, based on what I've seen, is definitely the best call to go here. I've noticed some people go for Rock Slide. Maybe they don't know that it's neutral to throw the Drill Run, which is stab for Excadrill, and a lot spammier. So the Excadrill definitely is kind of a threat for me here. There really isn't much I can do with the shield advantage and how spammy this Pokemon can be. So we switch in Snorlax, and it's a little crazy. I can actually get off a move, but it doesn't matter because pretty much the double steal in that scenario, having our Snorlax a little too weak, it may have been better actually to safe swap into Roserade and bait out one of the steals in that type of battle. But in this next match, we get another Mamoswine lead. This is a regular one, not a shadow. We're going to take the Avalanche, and we're going to save all our energy, because there's really no point to throw energy on a dragon if they're going to safe swap to one, because we already know that we can just farm it down with Togekiss. This Dragonite actually has Hurricane, which definitely is good for this matchup in particular, but because I don't really need Togekiss at all, I just wanted to win switch. It doesn't really flip anything. They end up bringing Sylveon, which is a little rough for them because now I get this energy lead with our Roserade, and Mamoswine is not going to appreciate. They got to respect these weather balls. It's just the reality of the situation, and yeah, it's a little scary for the Mamo, and I already had energy still saved on my Snorlax from switching out earlier, but I just go in, combo play here, and that's just going to be a GG. Throw in a body slam to finish it up. So yeah, pretty solid start here, honestly. I think that was the final battle of the first set. So yeah, that was my first set during Go Battle League running this line in particular. So let's jump into the next one. All right, so in this next battle, or set of battles, we get a Rhyperior lead. So we are just gonna stay in, and generally I'm pretty confident a superpower will not knock me out, but they end up throwing Surf. We're gonna build up a little bit of extra energy. I'd like to potentially maybe even have 2 superpowers here. And now I'm going to throw one, and because they take it, I'm going to actually switch to Roserade, suspecting that maybe it's another Surf. And we do catch the Surf on Roserade here, which is pretty solid. I'm going to actually take this move, and I cannot take an Earth Power. This is another early set trying this team out, and I learned the hard way that Roserade is definitely a Pokemon you need to have energy advantage and shields to really make it shine in this format. That's why I was thinking as a safe swap, it works pretty good. There was a time where I was trying out it as a lead with this line, but absolutely found way more success with Snorlax lead with our safe swap Roserade. So we get the Swampert here, and this is kind of a tough one, but we end up pulling off the 2 shield Togekiss situation, and we're just gonna pretty much farm down. I'm gonna throw an Ancient Power here just to kind of like get the shield and maybe fish for a boost. I'm suspecting there might be a Sludge Wave, and fortunately for us, to be honest, I wasn't sure if it would be Sludge Wave or not. I was like, maybe it is, and I was so thankful because I was considering on tanking that Hydro. Alright, in this next battle we get a Togekiss, which is a pretty solid situation here for Snorlax. Pretty neutral matchup for the most part. And they end up bringing in their Dragon Breath Gyarados. So depending on if it's Dragon Breath versus Waterfall, will sometimes determine what I'll switch into here. Togekiss, in my opinion, is so much better against the... not even my opinion, it's just... it definitely is better against the Dragon Breath variant. And the Waterfall variant, Roserade will do better against, even though this particular moveset isn't the best against Gyarados. The Gyarados doesn't know what you're running on Roserade, unless they watch this video or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, for the most part, I think you're gonna get the fear from the Swamperts and the Gyarados until they figure out what you're doing. And even Dazzling Gleam will still chunk a decent amount, but especially against the Gyarados, the poison damage is nice. But yeah, we get the Machamp here in the back. It's looking really scary. But fortunately for us, we do have a little bit of energy built up, so we're just going to throw so much of it. And I think this Machamp is actually close combat. Yes, I remember now. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because it was close combat, it actually really flips this match for us. Because it makes sense. Like, close combat against the unsuspecting Metagross is super good. And also, when you have it in the back line, it kind of makes sense. Like, when there's no shields, you kind of want a close combat, not a cross chop. But, okay, so we get an Excadrill lead. Very common lead. I feel like I've seen this lead the most when I ran this line. And we're just going to do the thing. And it seems like they're not going to shield either. It seemed very common that people just did not want to shield. But if they did shield, I would probably just safe swap the Roserade right away. And we end up just staying on the Primarina because I figured there's not really much this could hit Roserade with. So I did think a Hydro Pump would kind of hurt if they decide to go. I'm pretty sure it runs Hydro Pump. Or maybe it's Disarming Voice and Moonblast. I don't remember what it runs in this format. But yeah, I was like, a Hydro Pump maybe actually could really hurt me there. So I was like, just gonna shield just to be safe. But as you can tell here, we can just kind of clean up shop with Togekiss. Especially because Dragonites a lot of time now are not running Hurricane. You just wall the Garchomps, the Dragonites so hard with Togekiss. Definitely not a skilled Pokemon, but you know, we gotta balance out the spice a little bit, and it works really well with our Generalist Snorlax and our Roserade, who's coming in with coverage moves. So yeah, we're gonna we get a shield, like pretty smart, honestly. Like, I guess they may have suspected that we were going for Dazzling Gleam. Well played. But now it's okay because we can just bring in Togekiss and just go for a straight farm down. So we do have shield advantage. We'll try to take advantage of this as best as we can by just storing up this energy. And in comes the Metagross. We're going to insta-swap. We end up getting ourselves a champion. This is going to be a little scary. I'm hoping that somehow we can trick this person into maybe shielding. Maybe that would be a good outcome for us. So I'm going to I think I'm going to just double shield and try to get this. I think they might even let the Machamp go here, which I think is maybe potentially the right call. I go for the... Yeah, I don't think I can win this battle. I think they did a good call there to just let it go like that. I go for the Ancient Power, and yeah, I can't see how I could possibly win this battle at this point. I mean, yeah, they were good. They played a little risky here. I personally think they played a little risky. They definitely had the win. But wow, that was really close still, the way they played that. Alright, so in this next match, we get the Gyarados with Waterfall. I'm just going to stay in and just try to chip as much damage away. That's kind of how I play this. And to be honest, upon rewatching this, I'm thinking, would it be a bad idea to just safe swap to Roserade here? You know? I think Gyarados might be the one scenario where it's hard because I think Roserade, if it's Waterfall, it might be a good idea to switch. But again, this is kind of similar because we do get the energy lead. And we still have a switch. But for some reason, they brought in Florges. And then, yeah, the alignment there was not in their favor, unfortunately. Because now I'm just throwing weather balls like a madman. And yeah, I could tell that was a mistake on their end, or maybe they didn't realize. I bet you it was they did not realize I was running Poison Jab. Because it's not a grass Pokemon. That, Florges is not grass type. So obviously can take weather balls. But yeah, I was still trying to adjust with this team in this set. But still another 4-1. Let's jump into the next set. Alright, so in this next set, this is our third set that I'm showcasing from my stream from Go Battle Day. I didn't do all my battles, but I did do a decent amount. Like I said, it's been a couple weeks since I've played, so I'm a little rusty. And this is not my particular most proficient league, dare I say. I do feel like I did pretty good. I gained a decent amount of ELO this day. I think around 300 ELO I gained, because I was sitting around 2100, 200, 80 or something like that when I started my stream. and I ended up around like 23 something, which, like I said, I stopped playing at the very beginning. Pretty much the last video was the last time I played Go Battle League this season. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into it and showcase some of these fun battles. That was a little rough, by the way, not getting to that dazzling gleam. But, you know, it's oh gosh, that was harsh. But we get a nice farm down still here with Togekiss. I'm gonna switch in Snorlax and just try my best to get as much damage off. And we eat the Speedier Mash. I'm gonna try my best to flip this match. It's not looking particularly good, but I do have the energy lead on my Togekiss, and I'm going for the Ancient Power. I get the boost, it matters here, and I'm able to secure it. That was like probably the only boost throughout my entire session that mattered, and I didn't really get many. So we get the Garchomp lead, and I'm just gonna stay in. We just gotta be careful with the Mud Shot ones, and because it does generate energy super fast, and a lot of times they do just try to go straight Outrage, which can be, you know, detrimental to staying in here and flipping this. But great call here to just kind of bait me, and you know, it's not even necessarily bait, like they're kind of just chunking away a lot of damage with Dragon Tail. So I'm just gonna bring in Roserade, and I'm just gonna throw the move, and we end up getting the shield here, which is kind of nice, but still kind of not the best scenario. This Garchomp is like tearing through me right now, and I guess now it's time for Togekiss to give a shot, and more than likely they have a Steel type. I mean, most of these teams are running Metagross, and there we go. We see the Metagross coming in with Snorlax. I should probably not have thrown this move here, but they end up switching out into Togekiss, which I thought was kind of interesting decision, because they absolutely could have stayed in with the Metagross and went for a straight farm down. But to be fair, they pretty much had the battle secured in the bag here. To you know, I don't have enough HP to do much more here, right? So well played. These Metagross, if we don't deal with the opponent's Metagross properly, that's probably the biggest threat. The Excadrill and the Metagross to this team, it's not impossible. We actually beat a lot of double Metagross and Excadrill teams with this line. It's just Snorlax and Roserade are really good options to deal with those, but the thing about the Roserade, on even energy, Metagross is going to win. It's going to bullet punch that Roserade down before you can do enough damage. So yeah, that's why I like the Roserade here more as the safe swap, because getting that energy lead does make a huge difference in how we can make this work. So we're just going to let these go through, knowing that they're probably just sand teams. I can eat them to the face. I'm going to go straight for a Dazzling Gleam here, and let's see, does it, you know what? A lot of people were shielding the Roserade. Maybe they were suspecting Leaf Storm. Regardless, I think against Garchomp, maybe Leaf Storm would still do a lot of damage, but it is only neutral. But I'm going to bring in my Togekiss here on the Garchomp, and yeah, we end up getting a Florges here in the back. I'm going to switch out my Togekiss just so I can get rid of the debuff, and we're just going to be chipping away a lot of damage with my Snorlax on Florges, and then that's pretty much going to be game, because Togekiss can easily clean up shop once we've whittled down Florges here. So just going to take the Disarming Voice and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And then farm down Togekiss, and it's pretty much game. I think they just top left here. GG. Yeah, a lot of battles here today, but obviously there's way more that I did that aren't being seen here. So that's why you should definitely consider checking me out on Twitch. Oh, you know what? I've actually been thinking of doing a stream on YouTube. If you're watching this and you're like down, let me know in the comments below if you'd be down to come check out a live stream here on YouTube. I know that a lot of people have been coming over from Twitch to YouTube, and I honestly feel like it would not be a bad decision, because that's pretty much what this channel is all about anyways. So we end up getting all the shields, by the way, and this looks kind of interesting. We're going to bring in Togekiss and just get like a little bit of energy, because we don't truly know. We're going to risk it. I actually made a pretty big risky call here, because I thought if they reveal that it's not Hurricane, there's a really good chance that they don't have it. So we just see 2 Dragon Claws, and this is kind of scary because this is just a scenario where it's still going to chip a lot of damage. So we're going to take advantage of our shields now, and we might maybe just barely be able to pull something off here. I'm throwing the Body Slam here on the Gyarados. It will do a decent chunk. It's going down for the lick, and we're going to be able to get a Body Slam here off on Togekiss, which will secure this battle. So very clutch here. So yeah, well played, GG. Let's get here in the next battle. So this next one, we get another Gyarados lead, and it is Waterfall. As you can tell, I stay in on all these Gyarados leads, but upon rewatching a lot of these battles, I'm like, maybe the key is to switch right away to Roserade against Waterfall Gyarados in particular. Dragon Breath, I feel like we can kind of like 1-for-1 it just because of how it is, but because the Aqua Jet Aqua Tails just start to add up, it becomes a little detrimental. We get the Excadrill here, and I'm throwing a Weather Ball, and yeah, I think like because they just like switch like that and I just have that energy lead, it's a little brutal for them. And they go for the Rock Slide, which, like I said a little bit earlier, you saw how much damage that Drill Run did to me. They don't need to be throwing Rock Slides against a Roserade. Drill Run's the way to go if you're ever getting this matchup. But yeah, they're just throwing Rock Slides, which just puts me further ahead energy-wise. And we're going to try our best. It's actually kind of tough, but we get the Togekiss, and at this point, it's kind of like, I think we have a solid case that we can win this. Because one of the biggest threats here was really just that, you know, we decided to bring in the Roserade here, but I was thinking like, why didn't I just bring in Togekiss? Maybe I was thinking I know I can take one Rock Slide and potentially just farm down. But I think I may have messed up here by doing this. I don't think I can actually... Oh wait, okay. That was the right play. Because I wasn't really paying attention 100% when we were rewatching that. But okay, we secured it there. That's another 4-1, yo. Oh wow. Wow, we got an Onyx. All for me? Little old me? Alright, I have one more set here, alright? It's like pretty much the last set I played. Alright, Joe, let's see what we got here in our next battle. So we're gonna get him a champ lead, and that's kind of scary for us. So I'm gonna safe swap to Roserade, but that was a bad safe swap. I was accidentally tapping above. I was streaming and I was a little distracted. I was like, oh my gosh, I accidentally did a late switch. And then they have a Glaceon here. I was like, this is crazy spicy, but great alignment for them. So we do end up getting both shields here. They go for a straight farm down on Roserade. I'm gonna bring in Snorlax once we wait out the timer a bit. And I'm just going to let the first move go through. It could be Avalanche, but ends up being Icy Wind. So I'm just going to take it a risk and say, oh, well, maybe it's just Icy Wind, Last Resort. I have no idea what this is running, but we're just going to tank these Icy Winds, and we're going to rack up a little bit of damage, and then we're going to return with Body Slam, remove the Glaceon, and at this point, it's just like, can we even win this? Who knows what they have? We bring Togekiss, and they end up having Togekiss of their own. So at this point, I can kind of tell that it's pretty much GG for them, because we will reach the Ancient Power first, and we can easily farm down the Machamp. So GG's, well played. Alright, this next battle, we are against a Hydreigon. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this and you're still here, definitely consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, because it does help my content reach a wider audience here on YouTube, and I will be posting more videos here throughout the Season 12. So for this, I definitely want to try to build up some energy before I throw a move. And I'm going to throw the superpower, and because they take it, I'm going to insta-swap the Roserade just to whittle it down. And if they do bring in something like Metagross or Excadrill, I'll at least have the energy lead. But they end up bringing Togekiss, and oh my gosh, this is why I love Roserade too. It's just, I mean, to be fair, the Togekiss's charms do still chunk so much, but I'm getting shield pressure. I'm also, you know, still probably going to flip this. So it's super good, and I have energy to boot. So I'm just going to throw a Weather Ball here, and, you know, it's whatever. Chip damage in this scenario is still relatively good, and I'm not particularly afraid of anything Gyarados has, but I just figured why not just shield to see what they have, and just an Aqua Tail. that's GG. We throw the Ancient Power, didn't really need to do that, but I do end up getting a boost, so yeah, that's just game. GG. Alright, I think we have like 3 more battles left here in the video. We get a Rhyperior lead, and yeah, we're going to try to build up a little bit of energy. Ideally, we just want to take the first move. Superpower will be the worst case scenario, but... Oh, I decided to shield this one. I think I may have had a battle where I got hit with a superpower. I didn't like that. But Rock Wrecker, wasn't expecting that. And I'm just going to throw Superpower Connects, and then I'm going to farm down. So in this scenario, because they bring in Dragonite, I'm like, I think I stay in and just try to get alignment. And the crazy thing is they actually shielded once, which this is still kind of bad if they have Metagross, I will admit. It's going to be a tough one, but they end up having Garchomp, and it's like, oh my gosh, Togekiss just sweeps there. So they just top left. And in this next battle, we end up getting Metagross lead, which I'd say is pretty solid for us, but it all comes down to how we play this. Maybe I should have insta-swapped to Roserade here. We'll see, but I do throw the Body Slam. I end up bringing in Togekiss. Wow, I brought in Togekiss here? I don't think that was the play. Definitely Roserade here. I wonder why I did this. This is very interesting. But yeah, I think Roserade was absolutely the play there. Like, wow, what was I thinking? But we end up just throwing the Ancient Power. It does a little bit of damage. I mean, it's not a lot. And we're going to bring in Snorlax and try to just lick down this Metagross. So they end up bringing in Dragonite, and this does look like it's going to be kind of difficult for us now. See what I'm saying? Like, why didn't I? I'm rewatching this. Was I distracted? Why did I do this? Because think about how perfect this would have been if I just switched it the other way around. But yeah, this is not looking good at all. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to win this battle. But yeah, that's so weird. But yeah, if you're in this scenario, I genuinely feel what I took out of all my battles was Roserade's a really good safe swap on this line, just because there's not a lot of things I can switch in on it, and like it garners respect from most things in this meta. You know, like as you saw, even like some dragons were shielding us. How did I win this battle? What? I was like, I thought it was over already. Holy crap. Anyways, we get a Melodic lead, and this one I think is a little interesting because I think I shield the first move. I don't know why I do. I think I shield this. Yeah, I was like, I think I was a little distracted, but why did I shield that? Definitely not worth shielding the Melodic here at all, if you ask me. But I will take the second one. I mean, it's like so... I feel like it's a tough call. Because maybe we could have just brought in Roserade and had 2 shields and got the energy lead. Yeah, because the way the backline is, we really needed Snorlax, or we needed energy lead and shield advantage with Roserade. Because the Meteor Mash is so threatening damage-wise, and I need at least 2 Weather Balls to connect to really knock out Metagross. So yeah, this became kind of bad very fast, and I'm pretty sure that might be game. I do bring in the Snorlax in hopes to do something. Wait, I might actually be able to pull this off. I'm going for the Charm Down, and they're going to be able to throw some Aqua Tails here, which will chip decent amount. You know what, I don't know, I actually think I need to undertap the Ancient Power here. I think that's where I mess up here. Yes, because they are able to sneak in those... Well, they're not even sneaking it in. I need to undertap Ancient Power and die, and then bring in Snorlax, just get a little bit more and throw Body Slam. So that was super close, but yeah, I should have undertapped the Ancient Power. But well played, great games. I had a lot of fun trying out Roserade in the Master League Premier Classic. And yeah, for the most part, I felt like this format was very RPS. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it like I was. But yeah, you know how it is here. We gotta break the mold. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad is getting strong each and every day. Good morning, evening, afternoon, we're tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.